inventory is something we're definitely going to talk about. But as far as the interest rates go, Byron, you've done some really good. And as you talk, I have some of the stuff you brought up recently. But walk us through what you're seeing in the market, because you're predicting price drops. You and I have fought with the same group of people in the reventure crowd. So we want to get to that and talk about your opinion on the reventure crowd and exactly kind of what his comments have been, especially in Austin. But besides rates, walk us through what you're kind of seeing in the market right now.
Well, I got a couple different directions. You mentioned inventory, and I know we're going to get to that. I've got some thoughts on that for sure. Definitely rates. I'll tackle reventure first.
Okay, let's go there.
Listen, I mean, this is somebody who he's been talking about Austin, Texas, and this is not a market that I'm particularly familiar with, but he's been talking about Austin for years. Okay, not weeks, not the last 6 months where we've seen things change when the Fed directly went after housing and put a reset on the housing market. No, no, no. He's been doing it for 36 months, predicting this incredible collapse, telling people not to buy in 2020. I think every buyer in Austin, Texas, and for that matter, every town in America who bought in Q3, Q4 of 2020, who bought in 2021 is really thankful right now because they have so much equity in their home. They have so much home price appreciation. And you know what? They're locked into a rate that they'll likely never see again.
Right.
Or it'll be a long time before we see it again. In fact, that market that we just went through is unlike any market in the history of this country. So he can, like, one day I'll be right, keep putting out the same line over and over and over again. And that's what he's done. And his advice was really bad for about 30 months. In the last 6 months, he's been closer to being accurate. So I've got a
Well,
real problem with that.
I would say from my standpoint, when it came to the Austin area, yeah, he'd been saying that it's going to come down, and his philosophy of why Austin was going to come down is 100% the opposite of what actually transpired. And it's one thing to be lucky, but Ian even sent me the other day. God, you sent me a TikTok or something of him saying these people just bought this to rent it out. They're going to lose money. They should never have bought this rental property, bro. I'm selling my Sal Padre condo, and when that closes, we're buying 2 more units here in Austin.
Oh yeah.
Because Byron the other day was like, hey, interest rates are going to go up, buyer demand is going to go down. So if you're a seller, get your home on the market. I listened to Byron. I got my thing going on the market because now I'm going to roll that over at 1031 and buy 2 more properties in Austin in the next 6 months. And Byron, you said this several times on your show, and we've been echoing this, right, Ian, that the better time to buy this year is actually going to be Q3, 4.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Byron said you specifically said last call to sell your home. You have until the end of March with some kind of predictability, essentially.
Last call, because if I think that, hey, Q3, Q4 are going to be the best time to buy a house, and that's inclusive of Austin, right? I think in 2023, if we're making transactions, and we're talking about this year on how to invest in real estate, Q3, Q4, best time to invest, best time to be a home buyer. That means right now is the best time to be a seller. Okay. They're flipped. And so, yeah, Jeremy, I like what you're doing. Go ahead. If I've got inventory to sell, if I've got product to sell in 2023, I'm making that move right now if I can. And for you on a 1031, 6 months puts me in a pretty good position. Hey, guess what Fannie Mae's saying? Hey, guess what Mortgage Banker Association is saying? They're all saying we're going to end the year in the 5s on the 30-year fix. And I don't know, Jeremy, if you're going to go and leverage, pull some leverage, do a mortgage on some of these properties that you're going to go buy. You're going to move some 1031 money into it. I got that, but I don't know if you're going to mortgage the rest. If you are, the money is likely going to be cheaper before the end of the year. That's what all the consensus with all the banks are, that we're going to end the year in the 5s on the 30-year fix. So price pressure is going to continue throughout this year, and we'll see lower prices by the end of the year, which is why it's best time to sell is right now. We're going to be further away from the peak at the end of the year. The money's going to be cheaper, and the inventory is going to be more flush. So for sure, I want to be a shopper in quarter three, quarter four. I want to get myself in position when I can go shopping at that time.
You know, it's really interesting. I have 6 or 7 listings, six listings hitting the market soon. And I am pushing all my listing clients to list in March. Typically, I would tell my listing clients to wait till April or May
Okay.
even. And so I'm really trying to get my clients to get their homes on the market now for the simple fact that we do see more inventory right now. And I want to stay on inventory in a second because, or sellers, I'm going to say on sellers and inventory. Because right now, yeah, we do have a little less inventory, and the inventory, there's some interesting things happening with inventory because you've talked about that interest rates for those people are so low that they may not list. So the point I was going with sellers is like, I'm trying to get all my sellers to get on their properties on the market March. We're not waiting till April, May like we used to.
Yeah. And listen, the reason is if we get into a recession, you know, and a lot of these things are ifs. Nobody has a crystal ball besides reventure. 36 months, his crystal ball started to work. Nobody's got a crystal ball, but the tea leaves are looking like, okay, we might have a recession here in 2023. We certainly have stress on the economic situation that's happening. Okay. So there will be more inventory later in the year. Right now, we're across the country. You guys can speak to what it is specifically in Austin, but across the country, we're at the second lowest point for inventory. Most markets have less inventory now than we had in 2019. Okay.
That's crazy.
2019 in most markets was pretty normal. Okay. And so in almost every market in America, you've got less inventory now. In the Northeast, for example, which obviously things happen in the Northeast after the West, after Texas, you know, after some of these other markets where there's more people, you know, like Texas, there's more people migrating to Texas than there is the Northeast, right? People are leaving the Northeast and going other places. So it's a little bit slower, little smaller swings. But actually in Connecticut specifically, because I just looked at the numbers, there's less inventory right now than in 2022, which is just mind-boggling. But certainly almost every market has less inventory than 2019. And when we were in 2019 coming into 2020, it was a time where it's like, okay, this is going to be a normal market. Some markets have had some acceleration for some time. We're flattening out. And to have less inventory than that time frame, things were really good. People were buying homes. Is an insane number.
Thanks for watching this short of the Real Amigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.